Hi, we are going to go over how to clean your trombone, something you should do about once a month just to keep it working nice and not damaging the instrument so they last nice and long. So first thing you want to do is get a bathtub, fill it a bit with some room temperature water, never hot water, and some Dawn dish soap. That's going to clean and sanitize the instrument, but also it's a degreaser, so it's going to help pull all the grease out and biodegradable so it won't damage the instrument. Don't use any other cleaning supplies or chemicals without talking to me first because some things will damage the metal or the other parts of the instrument that we don't want to do, but Dawn is safe for instruments. Then we're going to take our trombone, we're going to take it completely apart and put the whole thing in the bathtub to soak, and I'm going to show you how to clean everything. So first, take your mouthpiece, set it in the tub of soapy water, take your slide, pull the two pieces apart, set both pieces inside the tub. Then you're going to take your bell and you're going to take off our tuning slide using our thumbs, pushing up and pulling this all the way off. If this does not come off, don't force it, just wash it without it, and then let me know if it does not come out. You're going to take all those pieces, set it inside the tub. Then what you're going to need is you're going to need your mouthpiece brush, our little cone-shaped brush. We are going to need our snake, which is this double-sided brush on a coil. And we're just going to uncoil this. And then you're going to also need a washcloth or a rag or something to wipe out the outside of the instrument. Then, one piece at a time, all we need to do is clean them. So we're going to take our mouthpiece, since that's what I put in the tub first. We take our brush, we stick it in the bottom end, we stick it through, give it a twist and pull it back out. That brushes the whole inside. Then we could take our rag or washcloth that's got soapy water on it, wipe down the whole outside, take your finger, stick it through the washcloth or rag like this, and wipe out the bowl where our lips go so it gets nice and inside and clean. Then we could rinse this off under the faucet, get all the soapy water off of it, and then set it on a towel next to you to begin to dry. Then let's pull out the next piece. Let's do our tuning slide. Take your snake, stick it through. It's not going to make the turn, so we just stick it through a little bit until it kind of hits the end, and then pull it back out, and do the same with that end. Just brushing it out a little bit. And then we want to focus on these two dull parts where we put our slide cream. Make sure you really scrub all that slide grease off and then wipe the outside of the instrument with all that soapy water. Then again, rinse this under the faucet, pour all the water out, make sure it's nice and clean, shake off some of the excess water, set it on the towel next to you or behind you to begin to dry. For the bell, we only need to worry about this skinny piece. So take your snake, stick it through one end, push it all the way through till it comes out the other, and then pull it all the way through. Make about 1 or 2 passes based off of how dirty it looks. And then rinse this whole thing. You might need to use the shower part to rinse this off, and then set this next to you. We could also take our slide. We have to do the slide in 2 different ways. The inner slide, the snake is long enough, you stick it in one end, you push it through, and it will pop out the other end, and you can pull this through. Be very careful because it will splash back at you a little bit when you're pulling the brushes through. Make 1 or 2 passes, always going from the top where we screw in the bell and our mouthpiece and pulling out the bottom. It does not work going the other way because there are extra tubes inside that we don't want to damage. After we do that, we want to also take our washcloth, wipe down the whole outside, focusing on this inner slide, making sure that's nice and clean and does not have any more of our slide cream on it. Rinse this off and set this on a towel next to you. For the outer slide, since it is much longer and has a turn at the end, the snake will not go all the way down, so just stick the snake through until it hits the bottom, pull it back up, and then do the other side and then wipe off the outside. That is how we clean the trombone. Make sure the whole thing is rinsed off. Take another towel if you have one, wipe down the whole outside of everything to dry everything off on the outside, and then leave it for a couple hours or overnight in a safe place away from pets and small children so they do not damage the instrument. Allow the inside of the instrument to dry off, and then we're going to grease it and put it all back together. So, first thing we should do is trombone. We have our trombone cream that you guys all have that I showed you how to use. We put a couple drops on each of these slides. We stick it in. Then move it up and down. Sometimes what I recommend you do also is just do one slide at a time. Stick it in and then twist it around like this. It helps coat the whole inside of the slide. And then once that's put together, take this piece, stick it back inside your trombone case. Then, for the bell and everything, we just have our tuning slide. So we get our tuning slide grease. It's like chapstick, so don't use a lot. Get a little bit on your finger, rub it around on the dull part because that's what goes inside. And this is just to grease it so we don't have metal against metal. And then always do just one side at a time, stick it in, spin around, make sure it gets nice and coated, feels like it's going in nice and smoothly. Do the other side. Spin around. If you put too much on, you have to wipe the excess off at the joint. Now we have to do both pieces. It's got to go on nice and straight. If you're having a hard time getting this to line up, sometimes what you could do is you could hold it like this and then jiggle back and forth, get it to line up, and it should eventually get in, and then push down. Never force it because you're going to dent the slides and they're never going to go in. So if you're struggling, ask for help. If you can't figure it out and your parents can't figure it out, just bring it to me. I will help you get the tuning slide back in. And again, if it doesn't come out, just make sure you poured all the water out of it and let me know. Put the mouthpiece back inside the case, get all your cleaning supplies, put them back inside the case, and you are good to go.